All right, I'm going to try to do this while I'm working on a personal item for my grandfather. The thing is like changing people's minds, right? Changing their mindset, bending their will, convincing them otherwise, right? Debating them, arguing. If you sit there and you say, and you look at your opponent, the other side, the other person, whatever, the customer, your enemy, and you say, I'm going to win this debate. I'm going to win you over. I'm going to bury you in the ground. I'm going to stomp a mud hole in you. You've lost that battle. You've lost that argument on that intellectual debate, on that conversation, right? If you sit there and say and think to yourself, "Oh, this guy doesn't know what's coming. I'm gonna put him in this place." You've lost that argument. You've lost that battle. And this is one of the things that I don't do anymore. I don't argue with people and I don't debate them because you're just setting yourself up for failure. And not everybody will agree with that. I get that. But let me try to further explain my point. Republicans and Democrats, right? You're left and right. You're red and you're blue. You will not win that debate if you're trying to convince the other side to come to your side or that their side is crazy. Because for every point that you make about the other side or your argument, they're going to make that same argument toward you, right? And it just goes back and forth, back and forth, and back and forth. And so this is where we're at in today's society, in today's world, that both sides are throwing the same stones at each other, right? You know, you hit us, we hit you back. You argue with us, we argue back. Oh, you made this point, okay, I'll make this point. Even if that means pulling up past presidents, administrations, politicians, laws, etc., whatever. This is why we don't get anywhere when it comes to debates and arguments, all right? Same thing with the Second Amendment, gun control, etc., right? There's some people that will say, okay, I can accept some of these gun decisions, gun rules, and then there's some people say will not infringe means nothing. That means we will not move an inch, right? And I understand if you try to listen to the side of like, okay, well, we want to make safer rules for gun laws, etc., because they don't understand what it is to be a gun owner, right? They don't own guns, they don't shoot guns, they have no intentions of owning a firearm or ever being at the gun range. So it's easy for them to say, I think we should do X, Y, and Z and have all these new gun laws and basically impose all these taxes, higher rates, gun shortages, ammos, because then what they do is they create a panic buy, right? Everybody goes out and starts buying panically, which completely destroys their argument, right? Because it's cause and effect. It's just an example. So when you try to use an argument to the other side, you lose that battle every time. This is why we don't get anywhere in today's America, because you have too many people arguing for the same points. So what I like to do now that I'm older and wiser is that I like to, it's all on presentations, right? It's how you present your argument or your case or your side of the story, right? And so when you can present it in a positive manner or in a manner that's like, I'm not trying to change you, I just want to explain my side. I want to explain why I think the way that I do, and how and why I see the world the way I see it, or why I see the argument the way that I see it versus you. And I think that if you can present that in that manner, rather than in an argument, you may just win minds over. You may just win that argument. You may get them to listen and say, okay, I understand your point now. I understand why your stance on this whole thing has been very will not infringe, will not move, etc. Because I'm not a gun owner, because I've never shot a gun, I've never gone to the range. I don't understand the concept of owning a gun. But now that you've explained it in that sense, I understand where you're coming from. You know, I think that if we can present arguments or your sides in more of a explanation stance rather than an argument, I think we could win some people over. You won't win everybody, but you can win some people over. You're probably wondering what the backstory is, but that's for another video. Right out.